Watch and learn, kiddies. Now that you're at home, I'm your new teacher, capiche? That's right. From now on, you can call me sir, or I'll smack you with a cane so hard it'll make you wish a bull gouged out your eyes with his horns, and while you're running around blind, a rodeo clown comes up behind you and lights your ass on fire, and you can smell your own ass dribbling down like lard. Whoa! That'd be pretty hard, so don't catch me! Now, today's lesson is part 57 on why the ABC sucks total nuts. I know I've made these points before, but this needs to be as hammered as your friend from high school that now works at a gas station. Just to bring you up to speed, the Liberals have been claiming for a decade that the Labor Party sacrificing a surplus to avoid a recession is unacceptable! Yeah, pre-made joke. Cheers for lifting the load in these troublesome times. Julia Zemiro? Anything you threw at them, same answer. Hey, under the Liberals, our education system has fallen down to the level of third world countries. Labor got us into debt. Oh, look at that. The Liberals have enabled grand-scale water corruption that has left entire cities without water. Labor got us into debt. Yeah, but now we're one of the worst performing economies in the world under the Liberals, and under Labor we were the best performing economy. Do I have to do the dance again? That is all they had. The lava being the economy, the ring being the surplus. Gollum, clearly Tony Abbott. But it turns out they're even less principled than that drug addict for magic, as they are very nonchalantly, like it's nothing at all, announcing. Oh, and minor note here, we're approving a stimulus package that's twice the size of Kevin Rudd. Okay, so now that that's handled, new corona rules. You can go to a restaurant, maybe, but don't sit down. Actually, walk to the restaurant on your hands. Don't scratch your face with your feet though, use your knees. Eat food while watching according to Jim only. In fact, don't eat anything unless it's prepared by tribal members from Papua New Guinea. None of this Papua Old Guinea shit, okay? We clear? Crystal? Well, I am anyway. You will be too, but as for the general public, is the media pointing out, hey guys, you know that one non-reason you voted for the Liberals over the last 9 election cycles? Guess what? They just quadruple backflipped on that, and even better, landed on cement. It's not just hypocrisy, it's hypocrisy that's not useful at all. What are they doing instead? Finding a way to blame Labor. Well, they're called classics for a reason, aren't they? Look at this line of questioning from dear old auntie with their in-house squealer from Animal Farm, Lee Sales.
Let me ask you a first principles question. I presume that you think it's responsible economic management to sometimes run a budget surplus and to sometimes run a budget deficit.
Yes, I do.
So if the government does go into deficit, I presume also that Labor won't complain about that, given that you yourselves ran deficits when you were in government, and you have just said that you think the economy requires a big stimulus package.
Seriously? How are you taken seriously? Is it because you look offended by the questions that you're asking? Is that it? A quarter of a century of elections won on that one idea. To hell with hospitals, damn the environment, the economy, education, and for some reason the Nationals seem to really hate fish. Why? Because they're smarter than your constituents? It's lame that like 11% of the parliament is Cletus. Nuts to all that. Back in black, baby. Yet now that one pointless point that they won, 9 elections off? That's just all supposed to be swept under the rug now because Labor did it too. Does it matter that, I don't know, the Liberal stimulus in classic Liberal Party style is terrible? See previous video? No, all that matters, you see, is that if the Liberals are against a stimulus, that's fine. If they want to run a stimulus, that's also fine. Do the details matter? No. What does matter is if Labor does either of those things, it's bad. Does that make sense? Also, just so you know, Australia, the Labor Party isn't even allowed to point out that massive 3-decade-long nation-altering hypocrisy because according to Lee, that'd be hypocritical. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the infamous pro-Labor ABC in all its pro-Labor glory. Why, it's almost as if it's completely funded and controlled by the Liberals. Thank you so much as always, though, Auntie, for your fair, balanced service of feathering your own nest, you pricks, but how about we just admire how masterfully Squealer lays the groundwork for the latest commandment on the side of the barn?
Prime Minister, welcome to the program and thank you for your time.
Thanks, Lee. Good to be with you.
Is the combination of coronavirus and the bushfires going to drive Australia into a recession?
Could it be any more overt? Can we at least change the name of this program to Bashing You Over the Head with Lee Sales? Scott didn't even have to open his mouth. just sat back, relaxed as Lee paints the picture for him. 0 seconds in. That's a new personal best in the ass-kissing Olympics, Lee. How do you improve on that? One final tidbit, Australia. This is according to Lee Sales, the flagship ferret on the flagship show of, that one source that you can trust because they're always harping on about how they're that one news source you can trust. Yeah. The new record of events is that Australia has not been on a per capita recession since 2018. That per capita recession, which didn't happen, had nothing to do with the Liberals dragging us from the best managed economy on earth under Labor to the bottom of the barrel in the OECD. No.
Is the combination of coronavirus and the bushfires going to drive Australia into a recession?
The reason we're now in a recession is because of the coronavirus. 2 years after we were in a per capita recession. You see? They were a victim of their circumstances. Labor, on the other hand, not a victim of the GFC, and we did not avoid a recession because of them. And you can tell because as soon as they try to make that argument, they're received with...
Australians should be really proud of what they achieved together under that Labor government during the global financial crisis, averting recession, saving hundreds of thousands of jobs, something which is admired the world over.
It was an invitation to share some lessons, not to spruik Labor's credentials.
Oh, shut down. Good one, Lee. Don't you guys love it when she's savage against people stating facts? People are always asking me, well, why doesn't Labor just say the stuff you're saying? How? Through the Murdoch press? They seem like a reasonable bunch. Channel 9 Fairfax? Hey Pete, I know we've had our differences in the past, you being a former Liberal treasurer that's cool with Liberal Party fundraisers at Channel 9's headquarters and all, but hey, can you just allow us to point out how dog shit your party is for the good of the nation? What do you say? The ABC and SBS that are funded by the Liberals and filled with hostile management and journalists through nearly 30 years of non-stop white-anting? Oh yeah, nothing but love for Labor there, sanctioned by Comrade Buttrose. How do you propose they get their message out there that the Liberals have willfully mismanaged the spread of corona, that they completely toppled the economy before the spread of corona, and now that corona's here, they're using it as an excuse to profit off the economy's planned implosion through quantitative easing and their stimulus package aimed at cushioning business? Albo's Instagram? Now do you see why there's so many fat yahoos wearing singlets in your Facebook feed saying, hey, lay off ScoMo, he's doing the best he can given the circumstances? Quantitatively not true. But where will you hear that in the Australian media? These are the same people that told you that Labor needed to go in 2013 because of a tiny amount of debt, which under the Liberals we have more of than this entire nation's history combined. But now, debt doesn't matter. Stopping the boats? Well, I guess a cruise ship isn't technically a boat. We're talking about a media that pushed the narrative that Labor's stimulus package was a waste of money, even though every global economic institution on earth praised it as the best response to the GFC. Now the Liberals are running the worst stimulus package in the developed world. All that's written on the side of the barn is there's good debt and there's bad debt. Like the video and get 2 of your friends to subscribe.
Labor putting $200 billion of more and higher taxes on the economy can only slow it down.
They've been pretty good. They've been pretty good economic. I know it's un-Australian to acknowledge anything that a politician does well, but Labor were pretty good economic managers back at the GFC.
Please share and comment below. Comment.